Very quick recommendation. There's 1,000 videos made about this. It was not on my reading list. I just wanted to have an opinion about it because everyone either hates it or loves it. They Catch It in the Rye by J.D. Salinger. This is a story about the coming of age. It's a teenager called Holden Caulfield that basically escapes from his house and tries to start life in his own account. He didn't fit in any of the schools his parents sent him to. He would have fights, he would be expelled over and over and over. I feel in that respect partially identified with that part of the story. And so he escapes, and I also feel identified with that. But I did not feel identified with the boys. I think I understand, and I think that is the reason why most people doesn't like this book. Is the voice of the teenager. It's a teenager's voice. The reason why there is repetition and there's like, and he lies and contradicts himself throughout the book, and it's so irritating. Is because he speaks like a teenager. This doesn't have any pompous adjectives or incredible rhetoric. No, this is like a teenager telling you what's up. As a matter of fact, you can very much see that on the first line of the book, on the first few lines of the book, that for me sort of like are the best synopsis of what this is. If you really want to hear about it, the first thing you'll probably want to know is where I was born and what my lousy childhood was like and how my parents were occupied and all that, and all before they had me, and all that David Copperfield kind of crap. But I don't feel like going into it. If you want to know the truth, in the first place, that stuff bores me, and in the second place, my parents would have about 2 hemorrhages apiece if I told anything pretty personal about them. They are quite touchy about anything like that, especially my father. They are nice and all, I'm not saying that, but they are also touchy as hell. So yeah, that's enough to get an idea of the tone of the whole book. I feel like not liking this book because of the tone is misunderstanding the intention of the author. I know that sometimes creating a voice that is simpler than what normally writing requires is often a sort of like an instrument for bad writers to hide their bad writing in blaming the character that they created. It's not me, it's that the character is like that. I don't think this is the case. You get that in every single discipline. With the surrealists is way more true than here. Like if you see Dali, was he a good painter? Yeah, he was a good painter, but like he was lazy, right? And it's very easy to not have to paint perspective because everything is a dream. That's sort of like the thing that you could accuse this book of doing is the same. It's like taking a cheap excuse to write bad prose, but it's not the same. It's not. This is a dream, and therefore I don't need to respect proportions and perspective, like I believe Dali did. It's the only way that this book could be written, as the book says. That is not David Copperfield. If it were the length of David Copperfield and written like Dickens Copperfield, it could be a bad book. This is a very short fictional memoir that works because it's a short story told by a teenager, and that's what's special about it. That's all. I think I recommend it. There is interesting themes as well, like there's some symbolism. The lake freezing, where are the ducks going? That's a question that comes systematically comes to Holden Caulfield's mind. and that could be said to be a symbol of what will happen to him when the lake freezes. He could be identified as the Dax. He's homeless now. He's escaped from his parents' house. There's a nice sort of like end of the book in which like towards the end, sort of like the conclusion is sort of studying is the answer. There is a misunderstanding with a teacher that but before that misunderstanding, there's a really nice couple of pages where he sort of like incites him to become a student, to become a reader, because that's what he is. It's only sort of like the institution, and with all its normalizing power, to use Foucault's terms, that he's not fitting into. I think it is a good book, and it's also extremely easy to read. Very few classics can be read in a couple of hours or in an hour. So this is definitely a recommend. And yet I understand why people does hate it sometimes, but it is a good book. It's well made.